Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. Wow, love this turnout. Very impressive. My name is Glenn Mitchum, and I have the wonderful honor and privilege of being the new superintendent of Waverly Community Schools. Thank you. Month 5, and I didn't see the governor coming in my 5th month, so doing the best I can. Like, wow, okay. I want to say special welcome to Governor Whitmer. You may not know this, Governor Whitmer, but you're standing among greatness right now. You are at Waverly High School. It has 963 impressive students. We have 90 hardworking teachers and staff who care so much about our kids. We are one of the most diverse high schools in the state of Michigan. We're very proud of that. And in all of our schools, we have 6 schools in our district, and all of us together believe some really important core things about education. That's one, all children can learn. Every child has intrinsic worth. High expectations powerfully impact achievement. Attitude, effort, and self-esteem are crucial to personal success. And then finally, students, staff, and the entire community, including all of us, share in the responsibility of education. So that is why it is so awesome today to see that shared responsibility, all of us educating students, take shape in such a tangible way. Today we're here to witness history, the first ever statewide ban on cell phone use in the classroom. That's exciting. So thank you to the bill sponsors, Representative Tisdale and Senator Pohanke. Thank you to both the House and the Senate who overwhelmingly supported this bill. And thank you to Governor Whitmer, who's here today to sign it into law. That's fantastic. For me, someone who started in the classroom long before cell phones were ever a thing, but then I had to battle them as an assistant principal and then a middle school principal. I'm especially excited for this bill. Thank you for this bill. And actually, I think all educators would say putting a state law behind something that we've been trying to do for years is a beautiful thing, so thank you. There's no doubt that there is many good and important uses for phones, but there's nothing like a classroom full of engaged learners connecting face-to-face, connecting eye-to-eye in their learning. Our teachers and staff appreciate this bill. Our administrators appreciate this bill. And even though they may not all admit it, I believe that our students appreciate this bill as well. So thank you very much. Thank you for being here.
Good morning. Good to see everyone. I'm State Representative Mark Tisdale. My first draft of this legislation was back in June of 2023. I immediately walked it over to the Oakland County Intermediate School District Legislative Affairs Office, David Randall's, and we started working to make it better. Along the way, Robert Mass from the governor's office connected me with Senator Pohanke, who's chair of the Education Committee in the Senate. My language was very data-driven. I've been reading about this for 6 or 7 years, following the work of Professor Jonathan Haidt out of New York University. Senator Pohanke made it a little more people-driven, I would say, and it was needed and greatly appreciated. But that's how and then the governor mentioned it in her State of the State address in 2025. That certainly breathed an awful lot of life into this effort. But that's how you end up with 99 yes votes in the House and 34-1 in the Senate. It takes a lot of people, and it takes a lot of time and effort and patience and a willingness to work together and to make some compromises and changes to improve the final product. And I think we've come out with a very good bill, and just so happy that the governor saw fit to sign it into law, and we're anxious to see the results a year from today.
All right. Good morning, I'm State Senator Dana Pohanke, and I've proudly represented parts of Wayne County in the legislature for about 7 years now. Before my time in the Capitol, I was a high school English teacher, for almost 20 years, and I know the cell phone battle. I know that for kids, I taught mostly juniors and seniors, it's hard not to take a peek at that phone during class. It's hard for teachers during professional development not to look at it's hard for adults to do. So I understand that. It's hard for teachers while they're trying to teach to have to monitor student cell phone use and possibly take a phone. And it disrupts everyone's flow. It disrupts the educational process. And so now we have the weight of a state law, behind, I think, what everyone can agree upon is that cell phones don't belong in the classroom during instruction. And I love that we have flexibility for schools to run that as their policy. They can do an even more strict policy. They can invest in the pouches that I think some schools are doing, or keep your cell phone wall charts. It's up to the individual school district. So, when I sat down for the governor's State of the State last year and she said we should ban cell phones, I said, oh gosh, time to drop a bill request. So I did. Just that next week, it is a good idea. Governor was right to lead on this. And, you see all the division in Lansing. It wasn't like that with Mark and I and the respective leaders of our chambers on this, because we can work across the aisle. We can work across chambers to do the right things for kids. So Mark and I, with the help of Rob Mass from the governor's office, Dan Mykowiak, Matt Bowick from our offices, we just hammered it out on the phone in a couple phone calls. It was how it should be. So I'm so heartened that this is happening today. It's finally happening. Thank you, Governor Whitmer, for signing this into the law. And thank you.
Thank you.
Now I'd like to introduce Lavisha. Is it Lavisha?
Young. Garcia Young.
Oh, Garcia.
Yeah.
Garcia Young.
Very small print. Good morning. My name is Garcia Young. I am a math educator here at Waverly High School. I want to be clear that I am speaking only from my experience in my own classroom, not on behalf of all educators or as a policymaker. Every day, I see firsthand how attention shapes learning. At Waverly, we have already implemented a policy requiring phones to be put away during instructional time. Since we put this policy in place, the change I have witnessed has been powerful. After completing a recent midterm, one of my students came to me and said that I no longer had to worry about them sneaking their Apple Watch during class because they realized their divided attention hurt their performance. No one told them to say that. They came to that realization on their own. And when students realize themselves that their devices are a barrier, that speaks volumes. Last year, I asked my 9th graders to leave advice for incoming students. A common message appeared again and again. Pay attention, stay engaged, and stay off your devices. Our students understand what helps them succeed. As an educator, I can clearly see the difference between students who are frequently distracted and those who give their full attention to instruction. This difference is not about compliance. It's about opportunity. When students are fully present, they participate more, retain more, and achieve more. This is not about punishment or taking something away. It's about protecting the learning environment so students can focus on what matters most, their education and their future. Thank you. Now I will introduce a student here at Waverly High School, Callan Maxwell.
Well, good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. My name is Callan Maxwell, and I'm a senior right here at the Great Waverly High School. and today I have the honor of getting to speak about House Bill 4141. This bill essentially just requires all schools in Michigan to adopt a technology policy limiting cell phone use during class time. This is super important in setting students like myself up for success in our futures. Phones are addictive, they're an addiction, and they have to be treated as such. As young people, we are the leaders of today, but we are also the leaders of tomorrow, and we have to be ready to take on that responsibility. High school is a place where you learn, you make mistakes, and you grow from them. But it's really hard to do that when your entire life exists within one tiny screen. So, with all the lessons you're able to learn here at Waverly High School, or at your high school at home, there's so many experiences to be had, moments to enjoy that can be missed if you're constantly glued to your phone. High school flies by, and we should make a better effort to be present and here with the rest of our friends. This bill is a step in the right direction, and I hope it leads to a larger effort to put teaching students of how, when, and where it's appropriate to use technology. Michigan is full of amazing young people that have such bright futures. All we have to do is put our phones down, be present, and pay attention, and it'll all pay off in the end. Now, without further ado, I have the honor of introducing someone who believes that every Michigan student should have the opportunity to become the best person that he or she can be. Please join me in giving a big warrior welcome to Governor Gretchen Whitmer.
All right, let's give it up for Callan and all the Waverly Warriors who are here with us. Yeah. All right, I am thrilled to be here with all of you today, signing the bipartisan bills into law that will limit the use of phones during class in our K-12 schools. Starting next fall, every public school will be required to create an action plan that keeps phones away from instructional time. I first called for this last year in the State of the State, and I'm thrilled that we're getting it done today before the next and last State of the State. And I'm proud that legislators on both sides of the aisle in both chambers of the legislature were able to work together and get this done. Senator Polhanke and Representative Tisdale, thank you for leading the charge. I also want to recognize the Michigan Education Association, the Michigan Association of Secondary School Principals, the Michigan Department of Education, and Superintendent Maleko for their consistent support of this work. Our action today will help Michigan students succeed. We know that phones impede a student's ability to learn. They are by far the most disruptive distraction in our classrooms. Students losing their attention spans to apps that are designed to keep you scrolling, and teachers struggling to keep the class engaged while competing against social media. On social media specifically, 75% of teachers agree that it is a serious problem in the classroom. It leads to cyberbullying, worsens school social skills, and negatively impacts youth mental health. And I know that students feel it too. Nearly half of our kids spend 5 hours a day or more on their phones. That's over 35 hours a week. It's almost a full-time job. You know, we know that more screen time leads to increased anxiety and depression among teens. Phones hurt our kids' ability to learn, and it makes them feel worse about themselves. Students should be focusing on the most important job they have, which is learning. So, will this new law work? Hell yes it will. I know, I'm in school, I shouldn't be swearing, but and here's how we know, right? More than half of the states have already have policies like these on phones in the class like ours, and they are already seeing the benefits of it. In California, they've seen a huge drop in behavioral issues. In Florida, test scores jumped to new highs. In New York, kids now spend their lunch periods talking with friends, playing games. And in Kentucky, more books are getting checked out of the library. I mean, it's pretty remarkable what just having this out of the distraction, what it means for young people and their ability to develop social skills and learn, get engaged. When students put their phones down, their grades go up. Right now, we really need to help our kids succeed. I'm sure you all know that we've been falling behind when it comes to literacy. And I'll have a lot more to say about this in my upcoming State of the State in 2 weeks. Literacy is not just a Michigan problem, it's a U.S. problem. It's everywhere. We can make investments now in new curriculums and teacher trainings, but they're not going to be effective so long as we can't get our students to pay attention when they are in class. And that's why this all works together. Ending phone use during class time is common sense and is a step we need to take to fight back against addictive, evolving technology that prevents kids from reaching their full potential. So in the grand scheme of things, we're all new to the digital world. As a mom, I learned about social media at roughly the same time as my daughters were. It was hard to know how to help them navigate it. We know it's an important part of our lives. It connects us in ways that used to seem impossible a few decades ago. But teenagers today don't even know what life is like without it. The ability to access so much information all at once about everything, it's exhausting. Within a single feed, kids can see news about global conflicts, recaps of celebrity drama, AI-generated clips about people they know, and so much more. And it's no surprise that anxiety amongst young people is at an all-time high. This flood of information doesn't just overwhelm our young people. We're all using too much of it, regardless of our age. It's impacting all of us. And I know that we can all feel it. The truth is, we could all benefit from putting down the phone and looking up at the world more often instead of at our screens. So this bill is it's about a lot more than just putting phones away during class. It's a way to help our kids form happier and healthier habits with their devices. It's about our students. I know this is a big change, and I know that change isn't easy. And some of you may not be real thrilled with me right now. But I know that if this helps you break your dependency on your phone, or it helps improve your mental health, or lengthen your attention span, it's worth it. So this bill will help succeed in the classroom. It'll also help you be a more confident contributor in the world around you. So I want you to use your lunch break to catch up with your friends, study for a quiz, play euchre. Just don't sit in silence and scroll. In districts across Michigan, we're already seeing that policies like this work. Northville Public Schools banned phones last year, and teachers shared that students are more likely to ask questions and participate in the classroom discussion. At Creative Technologies Academy in Cedar Springs, they've seen more student engagement and focus and improved school culture. At Anchor Bay High School in Fairhaven, students adjusted to not having their phones by getting ahead on their schoolwork and cracking jokes with each other. And up in Mackinac City, where phones have been banned from classrooms since 2010, students are used to putting their phones away as the bell rings and focusing on the day's lesson. So today's new law will get every school up to speed and up to a standard that we expect from Michigan districts, and some that have already set the standard. Today we're showing up for our kids. We're prioritizing their academic success and their mental health. I'm grateful to everyone who worked so hard on this to get this across the finish line. I'm proud that it was bipartisan when we're talking about the success and mental health and the future of our kids. Politics has no business being in the middle of that conversation. We should always be putting our kids first, and today we are. So let's make it official and get the bill signed.
All right. Awesome. If I can have all of our students come closer and kind of some other folks go off to the side. We'll have the superintendent, you can stay in the photo. Okay. We're going to have all of our students up here. Yep. Very awesome. We have our teacher.
You did a beautiful job. All right, come hold on to this with me. Step right up. There you go.
Where's our lovely teacher on the side? Yep, come on up here. Awesome. All right. Just great.
Shake hands.